Countdown?
Yep.
Come on.
I read the news today, a two-bit expose of the same old story that I heard yesterday. Yeah, those the headlines, man, they all just go to plan. They're framed and fixed and rigged, and you know they're all just spam. So buckle down, look right in, because it's way under your skin. Just got by on the things they spout, and you should give me that good news.
Why?
Because I'm tired of the same old shit.
Oh, yeah.
Jazz hands.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Friday or Friday. Welcome to the grounds with Giles and Jones. I'm Giles, he's Jones, and Cappuccino Drew Casaccio is in with us today in the house.
Way to use his real name.
I know. The feds will be at my house.
Cappuccino, Casaccio,
Be outside. And there'll be
Cupolino,
a bunch of black suburban.
AKA Watch Out.
Hey, man, this is the ground, so it's all based on the coffee morning, so raise it up.
Raise it
All
up.
right.
I got
Salute,
tea
guys.
this morning. I'll get a coffee soon.
Salute, guys. Oh, that's all right.
Hopefully everyone had a good week so far and things are going well. Get ready for the heat. Summer is officially here.
Share Uncle Pete there. Just click on it.
And what is it supposed to be in the 90s this weekend? So if your AC ain't working,
Just click it.
who do we call if your AC ain't working, Kent?
What?
Who do we call if your AC isn't working for this weekend?
You're gonna want to call the Expert Home Solutions. Expert Home Solutions.
We got them
down there.
online there.
Those guys are great.
Yep, Expert Home Solutions. Check them out. They're great. We should be getting their logo and stuff to be put up here. Of course, the ground's brought to you by.
Financial support of Community Home Inspections.
Awesome.
Now, we care about your home like you do. You know, we go in there, give it a checkup. If you're buying, we go in, make sure it's a good, safe home to buy.
Yeah.
If you're selling, we go in, say, hey, this is what you might want to tune up before
Yeah.
you do put it on the market. Or if you're just living there and just don't know what to look for, we can stop in, check it out, tell you, hey, little maintenance
Talk into
items.
the microphone. Is this your first
Little maintenance
show?
items.
What in the world?
Hello?
Yeah.
It's already started.
That's why it's so tough for you guys.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Just
So-
just slide it over in
You
front.
told me never to touch the microphone.
No, that's not what I tell you not to touch.
All
Never mind.
In public.
In public.
In public.
right.
On
Hey,
the air.
what are you gonna do? You know
On
what
the
I
air.
mean? But
No, the home
Yes.
inspection thing, man, you guys do a great job.
Yep.
You guys do a really good job with that.
it's it's one of these things that you don't realize how important part of that process really is. I got to look
Okay.
at you guys when I talk. You know, it's weird. It's hard not to look at somebody. So anyway, but it's
Listen.
one of those things.
Also, it's $5 Friday over at J&H. If you go over there, you'll see them up here. You go over there, $5 Friday for a fresh cut bouquet, and it's great. You wanna surprise somebody or just freshen up your house a little bit.
Make it smell nice, right?
They are
flowers.
great.
It changes your mood having that good fragrant smells.
And if you don't have the $5, you go over there and say you heard it here on 21.6. Tom's Production is going to pick up that $5.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a big
Nice.
shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it, Tom.
That's
Thank you.
awesome, Tom. Yeah, that's great. So now we'll kind of see what kind of reach we've got around the local area here.
Yeah.
You know, so if
Exciting.
you guys are out there, stop in, get your flowers
Yeah.
for your boy, your girl, your kids. Just, it's nice to have something flowerful and smelling and beautiful.
Mhm.
And what would have a daisies in your house instead of killing all the dandelions?
You're a daisy. If
Am I
you
on
do.
the right show?
I don't know. You're a daisy if you do.
You're a daisy if you do.
All right. Of course, Uncle Pete's got the Earl up there. Come join the show. Have a cup of coffee with us. Jump on. Sometimes Don from Grapevine, Texas, will jump on.
Yeah.
Which is fun. But
Yep.
if you've got issues or concerns or something you want to talk about, throw it up in the comments or just jump on live with us and be part of the show.
Yeah, we're just this bunch of guys sitting around talking BSing in the morning. I mean, there is no topic we don't want to touch other than politics. You
Yep.
know, that's usually a never-win situation. So let's bring it in. If you guys got a concern or whatever, give us a holler, get online. You can actually, if you're camera ready, jump on.
Yeah.
I mean, we're always camera ready, right? And, you guys too, if you don't have to worry
Try
about
to be.
washing your hair.
It's been warm out, so I'm wearing the Hawaiian shirt today.
Yeah, it looks good, man.
Nice.
It looks good. You're getting ready for this
So,
90-degree
little-
weekend.
little story about this. My brother, you guys know I lost my brother
Yes.
not too long
Yep.
ago.
Yep.
So props to him for being my mentor. But years ago, he decided he was going to take a trip to Hawaii.
Have you ever been to Hawaii?
I have not.
I haven't either.
Aloha, oi.
He got this. He got this shirt, rented a Harley, and did a tour of the whole island.
That sounds amazing.
Really?
Yeah,
That sounds amazing because that's. I mean, when you said tour Harley, I mean, I don't care where I'm at.
it doesn't
Just
matter.
cruising around,
right. The parking lot,
Yeah.
even.
Yeah,
right?
well, that's a fast tour.
Right,
That's
right.
more like a
The
jaunt.
police station.
That's a jaunt.
Right.
No, I don't go there. I stay
There's
away
Don.
from the police
There's
station.
Don from
Hey!
good old Grapevine.
Good old
Hey,
Texas.
Don.
We're gonna be as hot as you guys today. Then they say it, they're gonna be like 90.
Yeah. It's,
So-
yeah. Oh, who cares?
Morning, Don.
That's it. Of course. Yeah, I wasn't even supposed to be here. I'm helping my daughter and my future son-in-law move, but they're not going to be ready this early in the morning. So my wife is like, "Go do the show."
Well, you know what she
Wow.
probably said they weren't ready, and you're like, oh my god, and you just looked at him and said, well, it is what it is. What can I do?
I thought I had to pick on him all by myself today.
No, we've got this
Okay.
tag team in.
Oh my god, I'm gonna separate you two.
I mean,
So
the
I can
nice
look
thing
back
is-
and forth. You guys are gonna break my neck.
The nice thing is, Drew and I can put our heads together and make a total ass of ourselves.
Oh, totally. Yeah, that should be
There it
a
is. You
that
got
should be
that?
a guess this photo.
Can I take a
and
picture
an
of that?
up close. You know what I mean?
The new live on the grounds, the
That's right.
Buttheads. That's the new show, the Buttheads. Forget two bald guys, the Buttheads.
Does look like 90 in Chicago and Dallas today.
Yeah. I don't know if we're ready. You know, that's the one of the things about the Midwest that kind of makes me a little nutty. Could be 65 yesterday and 90 today.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I know that's not uncommon in a lot of areas, but for whatever reason, for me, I like the slow gradual up and the slow gradual
Yeah, me
down.
too.
Because it's that huge swing for me just really kind of messes with my mojo and just the bodily
Throws you
functions.
off.
It can, I mean,
Keep talking.
la, 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 la. Hey, you're stretching over. All right. So anyway,
Just put both of them in front of me.
no, but I mean, for me, I don't know about you, it exhausts me. I'm in and out of my car a lot. So when it's hot out, for putting like on AC or whatever,
There's your problem.
What?
You
Putting
go
on
from
your-
AC to
I don't.
non-AC
I
to
don't.
non-AC to AC to non-AC to AC to AC to non-AC.
to AC to DC.
Well,
That really messes
it's
me up.
AC consistent for me when it hits this weather, man. It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, I'm really ripped inside of a giant sugar coated.
A little
Piece,
donut
right.
roll.
Hey,
Right.
National Donut
I have
Day
a
today.
protection.
National Drew Donut Day.
Yes.
Here's to you, sir.
Hey.
Hey, you're like a what is it?
Cappuccino and a donut.
No, what's
Cappuccino and a donut.
what's the hot dog in the bun? The little.
That's
cocktail
not that
weenies.
kind of show,
The
Scott.
cocktail weenies. Him.
Can you
He's a
do that?
weenie wrapped in a bun.
You're supposed to do it, Don.
Go to any donut shop.
Oh,
Go to any donut shop. Mention cappuccino. Scott Giles will buy you a donut.
That's right.
yeah, yeah.
That's right. Just and you go to the nation runs on it, but if you go there, but you have to ask for it.
You
If
do
you
have-
buy a drink, they're giving away a free donut.
Yeah, people don't like to give it out without.
You got to ask for something.
Ooh,
Bless you.
is that right?
Yeah.
Hey, if you don't ask, you'll never receive, right?
That's right.
Maybe
Guess
they're
so.
trying to get people out of their shells to come in and talk with
Yeah.
you. Be like, hey, ask for it. If you don't ask for it, you're not going to get it.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty common.
You gotta ask for it. I know
Well,
if I
I've
go to
been-
one of your
I've been
stores, I
married
ask for.
30 Never mind.
If I
You
go,
ask for it all the time, you still don't get it.
Right.
Alice, if you're
The
listening,
donut,
we do
the
love
donut,
you. Yeah,
the donut. That
Yeah.
is.
You'll get
Shayna,
that
good
as you get
morning.
older. You sit on that as you drive the
That's-
donut.
Yeah, the donut. Shayna, how are you, sister? Glad to have
Oh,
you.
good
Morning,
morning,
Shayna.
Shayna. She always is, you just always brighten my day when you come in. Just your insight and your comments.
Shayna, what
just,
does your therapist say about how much time you watch the grounds?
she probably thanks her. She goes, it makes my job a little easier because she's like, all right, well, I make sense to myself. I don't have as much to talk
well,
about.
it's kind of
as
like
listening
it's
to
kind of
those
like
guys.
it's kind of like watching Jerry Springer for most people. It's like, oh, my life isn't so.
Yeah.
Dude, that's one positive you can take out of that show. Going,
100%.
oh, this is
These
great.
idiots.
My
These
things
Right
are
when you
great.
thought you had it bad, you're like, ooh, I got it good, right?
What? And that's, I mean, you got to find the positive somewhere, right? Because I think everybody, in some respects, feels like they've got it so much worse than everybody else.
Perspective.
Yeah, the perspective is, and I mean, me, I'm guilty just as everybody else.
Yep.
Oh, woe is me sometimes, and I got to sit back and go, not woe is me.
Right.
Realize, focus. Don't think about what other people say. Don't let other people rent space free in your head.
Oh, that's right.
And
I heard
that's-
that the other
that's
day,
a-
man.
That's a hard thing not to do.
Yep.
right? Because as a general nature, I feel that there's always comparing and contrasting with other people in their lives and what's going on. And, obviously the pocket computers have kind of
I do
exacerbated
this
that.
when I'm in the gym locker room. That's
Yeah.
why.
Comparing and contrasting,
Yeah.
standing looking for the shadows.
Well, everybody's got that side of them, and
Right.
and listen, perspective is everything. As a business coach, leadership coach, I know that I hit my midsection where I'm like, listen, it does all that's out the window, right? And I hit my negatives real hard, and then I start looking at things in a different light.
Yeah.
And then it takes somebody like one of you guys to even be like, hey, and poke me and be like, what about that over there again? I'm like, oh yeah, get back on my horse.
Well,
right away.
and
Shayna says we are her therapist.
Hey, well, I'll send you the bill. We do take
Yeah.
cash, Zelle.
When he says that means we'll pay you.
We should actually. We will send you a check.
Right.
Because
Right.
Hold it
and-
till next Friday, though.
Well, and I've mentioned it how many times on the show. That's one thing I love about the show, because this is almost therapy for me. I don't know about for you guys, but
It's therapeutic, sure.
right? Because you get that different perspective. You understand that your way isn't God. Your way isn't the only way. And for many years, being that I kind of isolated myself, that was what it was for me, right?
You just triggered them.
That's okay. I love it. But that's
No.
for me, that's the way it was. We do get isolated
Yeah.
and we do get set in our ways, and there's times that you need to get a different perspective, right? And
So-
to hear it from somebody else's point of view, because life is simple, life is similar for most people, but how we deal with it and what we do and how we do it can
Yeah.
make or break us in a lot of different
Well, and
arenas.
I think that leads into a lot of different factors too. Like, I am a pretty motivated, pretty self-starting guy, and I do not like bullies.
I guess my wife's awake.
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't say awake. She's up way before
She
me.
said
In the
it was.
That's
As in past tense.
I guess I am
right?
going out of town this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was saying, I don't. When people try to push a perspective that doesn't necessarily need to be, that's to me, that's being a bully, and I don't like bullies. And there's plenty of them around you, and sometimes they hide pretty good. And so, I think too that if it's about who you network around, is where your mindset is, where you want your mindset. So make sure you're with a vetted network that you want to
Can
be
you give
around.
me an example? I mean, you're talking about someone trying to push a perspective on you being more of bullying. Can you kind of give me an idea of what you're talking about?
Sure.
bullying-wise?
So that could be anything. Anybody who's a legend in their own mind, they're kind of a
Well,
big
everybody should be a
deal,
legend in their own.
right?
Everyone should be a legend in their own mind.
Well,
No, no.
sure.
to a certain point, you
No,
have to
I-
love
I
and
disagree
believe
with
in
that.
yourself.
So here's what let me see if I can help.
Oh, here we
Well,
go. Here we go.
Wait, no, I'm asking Drew.
What does that say? The interplay of personalities. What she say is completely
Unstructured format.
Like that. Right. So here's let me try to put it into something. We all think that we live in the same world. You've heard, hey, we're all in the same boat. We're all in the same storm, right? The fact of the matter
Nobody
is,
At the start,
the fact of the matter is, right now we've got three worlds colliding, and there are three worlds. You have your own world,
right?
right? So I'll go to, let's use a white-tailed deer. Right. So the white-tailed deer is
Cool
Whip.
The white-tailed deer lives in a 1 mile square radius, right? A 1 square mile radius, its entire life. That's its world. It doesn't know what's on the second mile.
Right. So it's
Okay.
territory.
So if you can imagine a ring, that's our world. It may be a 1 square mile, but when I say mile, it may be you really don't go outside of that. Everything that you do is around something in your world.
Mhm.
It's kind of like your comfort zone, right?
Okay.
Your
No,
1 square mile.
No, I wouldn't say that. This
No.
is your world. This
It's
is what
your world. Yeah.
this is what you know.
It's not based on comfort.
So we look at the world, my world, and I have to most of the globe first world issues. Like, oh my gosh, I don't like putting $60 of gas a week into
I was
my
literally just going to
V8
bring
truck,
that up.
right? But I choose to drive a big truck
It
that's
goes
got
from
a
here
V8.
to here.
Yeah, right.
$60.
You know, and so what
I wish mine
happens?
was that
So
cheap.
right now we've got three worlds that the circles are kind of becoming right at this point, like Olympic circles.
I was just gonna say like the Olympics,
Right.
or
Interlink-
Audi,
interlinking.
or we're like Audi.
And so our energy is starting to blend. So what happens is when I have that circle or my world collides with yours, there's either going to be good energy exchanged or bad.
Yep.
And there's going to be it's like a magnet at that point. If it's bad, we're going to push against each other, and you're going to be like, out of my world. Why do you keep coming into my world? Right. So let's just use somebody who might be a big deal.
Well, that runs a variable too, because even the closest to people that you have in your life, they have a bad day, and then they share that bad day, which can create your bad day.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, but that doesn't mean you take them out of your world. So you have to vet and know you become the atmosphere you surround yourself in. That's the best way I can put it.
Well, yeah,
you become the
I mean,
atmosphere.
if you're surrounding yourself with negative, shitty people, I mean, you have
you're
no
going
other way to be that
you're going
way,
to be
right?
part of that deal.
You
Right?
have no, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's growing up in Iowa, that's what I say. The hog farmer has no idea he smells like hog shit.
Right, because that's just his life.
That's his world, right?
That's his world. He doesn't
It's
realize
now
it.
permeated into his clothes, into his skin,
Right?
because
Yeah,
he's around it.
He
all
sweats
day.
poop.
Yeah, he's around it all day, right?
Yeah.
Or she is, right?
Yeah.
More concerned about what? Being right.
Being right than having a rational conversation.
Right. So when I was asking you as far as the perspective, so you're saying someone being the bully, just like continually pushing it on you, or just not listening to you pushing back? I mean, how can you look at that as a bully, right? Like,
okay, so
because it's your choice to let them in or not, right?
Well, that depends. Do you have to work for them? Do you?
True.
Right. So, we're all entrepreneurs here at this table, right? For the most part, but
Go the big E.
right.
Right.
You can't blame anybody but yourself at
Spell,
that point.
spell.
Learn, move on, move forward,
Entree
rebuild.
Right.
Right.
Renner.
Yeah. So
Newer.
when you're around other people and they want to paint a picture, and we'll call it gaslighting a little bit about who they are, but that's not really who they are.
We're not hashtag. We're not trying to gaslight.
Right. No.
Unless you ask my wife, she'll tell you I do.
I just have gas.
Okay.
I'm not lighting anything.
Don't light it.
Yeah.
I got
Not from earlier.
Yeah,
No.
right.
I got the fan out. And then what happens is they're I don't know if you know this, but you might be okay, but I'm kind of a big deal. Right? So I think a couple shows ago I brought up narcissist.
I was gonna bring that up today, but I'm like, let's flavor. I like where we were flavoring this week, but that's a two show.
I deal with that on a daily basis, and these people don't know me. They don't know who I am. They don't know who I know. They don't know, and I don't go out preaching who I am either, because that's not me.
You don't have a sign on.
I
your
focus
back.
on others, and then at the end, by helping others, I benefit out of that in a lot of ways, more than just money. Right? They don't see it that way, so that's just. You see the patterns, right? So you see that pattern over and over again. The next time you see or talk to somebody and that pattern exists, you automatically know, nope, not coming in my circle.
Right.
So you're able to vet it.
It's that repel.
Correct. So that's what I mean.
Okay. Well, when you said bully, I'm kind of like, why are you letting that?
There's several different styles of bullies.
Right.
Man.
Right. Well, that's why.
And I don't like any of them. I don't like any of them.
Well, no, a bully in any way, shape, or form is just bad.
I'll
because
fall
it's
on a
somebody trying to
sword.
push an influence and
right.
for lack of a better term, hurt somebody else because they're
and that's
hurting
just
themselves, right? And usually bullies are very insecure people.
Yeah.
Right. And if there's one thing that you kind of, like when you're growing up, your parents
spoken like somebody who got picked on. Scott.
Dude, I got picked on. I got picked on horribly. And I didn't understand, right? And that's one thing that I did explain to my kids. Hey, it's like people that pick on you or people that bully you. There's usually two reasons, right? They're either jealous of you or they like you.
100%.
Right. And but that's a really hard concept to wrap your head around as a kid, right? I mean, even as an adult, it's still kind of they like wrapping their head around it.
And two, that most of the bullies don't realize that some people will stand tall for who they are and what they believe. I'm one of those guys. If you hand me that brick while I'm treading water, I'm probably gonna hit you in the head with it.
Well, so I like Ken said, when I was a kid, I did get picked on quite a bit, right? And I was unable, or I did not, I shouldn't say I was unable, but I did not stand up for myself for a while because for whatever reason, I didn't understand it. So I just kind of internalized it all, right? Which a lot of people do.
You just kind of push it down.
I just push that shit down, right?
That's healthy.
Yeah, really healthy, right?
Right.
So I came home one day, and this is like, we're kind of digressing a little bit. I came home one day and I looked at my mom and I started crying. She's like, what's wrong? Well, this guy, Bobby, was picking on me again, and really.
Now let's just paint the real picture. He was 35 at this point.
Yeah,
Right.
He was actually one. He was one
child.
I think it's time to
He
move on,
was because
Scott.
he was. I think he was 1 or 2 grades ahead of me, but he was a big bully. And my mom looked at me and she told me this whole thing. Right? They were like, "You were jealous of you." She said, "But if you don't do anything, if you don't hit him, I'm going to hit you."
Mm.
So back in the day, we could schedule fights.
Oh yeah.
So on the
Yeah,
bus
back
coming
in the
home,
day.
I said, "You be at my house at 3:30, and I'll kick your ass."
Right.
Son of a bitch! That son of a
Showed
bitch
up.
showed up,
Yeah.
and so did a whole bunch of people from the neighborhood and school. I went right through my front screen door and just pummeled the guy and just beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Right. 5 minutes into it, he's like, "I got to go home. My mom's waiting for me." Long story short, I finally realized I got the respect and was able to push back.
Became friends.
I don't know if we became friends, but there's
I've had
probably
that
more
where
of a
I've become
mutual
friends,
respect.
yeah.
I got a lot more respect
Yeah.
at school.
Yeah.
Right. But it was one of those things. It was kind of like,
Why is
all
our
right,
generation the generation that has my father? I grew up on the south side of Chicago,
right.
and I would come home with a black eye, and I got picked on a lot.
Yeah.
My father would be like, "You go back out there,"
Right.
and I was like, "Is this like a namesake thing? Is this?" He's like, "Nope. You need to learn that you're not a doormat,
Right. And it's a
and
it's
if
a pride thing.
you go down by trying, then that's okay.
right. But
but
you
if
do
you-
nothing,
It's gonna get worse."
right, you're gonna suck.
Right.
You're gonna internalize it. Right.
Right.
And that was so when you brought up
Yeah.
bullying, I mean that just brought it back a flash for
Now
me.
I'm too old and too fat to be fighting anybody these days.
That's not true. You're still.
Yeah, I know.
You're still,
And
you're
it's not
still-
worth
You're
it.
not old.
Well,
You're not old.
yeah, I feel old.
I mean, if it's any consolation.
Well, next to you, I'm always young. But
Hey, look, don't let the gray hair fool you, dude.
All right,
Being
what
65 and
what is
looking
Shayna
like this
saying
is
up there? I
good.
can't read.
Yeah,
I don't have my
Shayna
glasses.
says if you think about it, each one of our eyes is perceiving slight differences. How can we expect anyone to see anything the exact same way? Exactly, that's
You
what I
can't,
mean.
but
We
you
have-
can explain to them how you see it.
we
Right.
have we have the view of our world.
Yeah.
That's what I say. If we understand that we all live on a planet, but we're all in our own world, I think as Gen Xers, that's the way we grew up.
Yep.
It's like, no, you are you an asshole? I don't like you.
Are you
Right.
an asshole?
Are you a good guy? Then we'll get along.
Nothing else mattered.
Nothing else
That's,
matters.
that's what it was. It
right?
didn't matter.
And now it's
Yep.
I don't really care if you're an asshole. Tell me about your feelings, and I got to be very careful because I don't want to hurt them, right? And frankly, I'm like,
I'm offended.
I'll make fun of anybody, offend anybody because that's who I am. But
You do it from a loving standpoint, though, in a lot of respects. When I see it, right,
sometimes.
it's usually loving or it's nerves, right? I mean, sometimes people will just go off like what you do or I do with nerves, right? That's the way to
Yeah.
change the subject or to change the mood, right?
I do it for a lesson.
Bring a little bit of levity.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, if you're uncomfortable, you'll make it crack a joke to change the mood,
Yeah,
right?
and
Sure.
and Shane
No, you're
says there's a great difference between being an influence and being an inspiration.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, that's a wonderful statement because influencing is pushing somebody, right? Kind of in a way, you're helping push them away. Inspiring them is having them watch you, maybe learn by watching or do as I do, not as I say,
Yep.
type of thing. You see, oh wow, that he can do that. Well, if he can do that, then I definitely can do that.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a big thing by watching kids. My wife is for many years has told me, and I love her for that, is your kids will learn from watching you. You can tell them anything you want,
Yeah.
but your kids will learn from watching you. And, when you're having those bad days or those bad weeks, when it happens, I mean, it's just life, that when I'm just, I think about that, go, wow, what's the outside viewing me like?
Sure.
Right. Because I want to be an inspiration. I want to influence you, but I want to be an inspiration to you to know that you can come from like somebody like me that really came from a wonderful family, but not much. We didn't have a ton. We
Yep.
got by. We had a great family. So that was really the key. I mean, we did have everything because we had a good, loving family.
Yeah.
But
So Bob says, if you don't stand up for yourself, no one will. If you're able to stand up for yourself,
right.
right?
And
So and what I'm saying is there's a lot of people in this world who physically, mentally, whatever
Right.
can't, and there is some people or someone who will always stand up for them. So I like what you're saying, but if you're
Yeah, and
able-
I can agree, and I can
Yeah.
agree with that too. Other than the fact of it goes back to who your network is and who you're networking around, and if people are
Who's
that
in your
close to you,
world, yeah.
they'll step up to the plate for you.
And when we grew up,
Yeah.
right, our group, our network, and everything, or our issues and bullying and
Well
stuff
put, though, Bob.
was somewhat close knit, right? I feel I'm lost and I'm saddened by the fact that a lot of this bullying now is the cyberbullying. How do you combat that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How do you really combat that? It's not as simple as going out and Kent, I hate you, and punching him and not have to deal with him. Now you've got cyberbullying,
Right.
which
But
goes,
see, that's new school, right? Like,
right,
we're
that's-
old
but
school.
that
The new school
is-
don't realize that we're old school,
Yeah.
and that will come to your house
We'll
after
come-
you
right.
cyberbullet.
No, but we won't do
Lesson
that.
learned.
216 does not condone
Allegedly.
going to Jason's house.
Allegedly.
But you know what I mean? Yes, bring it some
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Um,
But I mean, how do you combat it? You can't combat it, right?
Yeah.
You can.
Well, it's something. Well, you can, but it's
it's
not.
easy. It's easier to combat than it was when we were kids because we were in each other's face.
Oh, yeah.
Here it's-
Nobody wants to get
Here
hit.
it's
right?
unfriend,
So,
unfollow.
Oh, I really
right.
enjoy it.
Never see it
right.
again.
Done.
Done.
Everybody else might see it,
But
and you might think
right,
about
but you
that.
think
It's
that easy for
psychologically
somebody
gets you.
that's already entrenched on their phone, and it's a big part of their life that they're going to just walk away from that.
First of all,
those comments.
pocket computer.
Sorry, the pocket
Don,
computer.
Don says, to Shayna's point, you'll be much better at influencing if you are inspiring. That's 100% true. I agree
Better
with
than
that.
perspiring was, and then he goes on to say,
I don't know. I have my glasses.
Which who we
Go
read?
to the next comment.
Which one we
Saying,
read? Shayna?
Up. Wait,
Oh, there we go.
right
Wow,
there.
we're
All right.
behind.
Then he
So this
says,
is-
yeah,
I'll
there's
do
nothing
that.
wrong with trying to influence someone. The problems come about with, quote, what you are trying to convince them of and how you do it, unquote. Right. So,
Well, it's different for everybody in how you do it, right? And what your objective is.
so we were headed down yesterday, helping my daughter move.
Yep.
And
Getting
I'm supposed to be doing that.
married.
I'm supposed to be doing that this morning, but they're not quite ready. So I was like, go on the show.
Thank you, Alice.
Thanks, Alice.
And my daughter's boyfriend, great guy.
Fiance.
No, not that one. Wrong daughter.
Oh.
We're headed down there, and he's like, wait, I think I got a good podcast. I go, okay, well, let's talk about it as we're, in the truck going down. And he goes, oh, I could talk to anybody about, who's the greatest of all time basketball player. So I go, and he's 20, and I go, all right, Q.
Wasn't that Dennis Rodman?
I said, all right, Q. Who do you think is the greatest? So he goes, oh, yeah, Michael Jordan. I said, okay, now let's talk parameters and let's talk about what area, right? So I get very specific with him. If you are having a conversation with anybody who it's all opinion based, I go, give me the guidelines on what we're talking about so I can have a good conversation with you about this. And he goes, oh man, championships. I said, okay, Bill Russell has 11 and he was a player coach for 2 of them. Michael Jordan has 6, not quite there. So from what you're saying on our guidelines, Russell, no, well, that doesn't count. Well, no, it does, because those were the parameters you gave me.
Right.
So when we're talking about trying to quote unquote convince somebody, it's usually, hey, my opinion's more important than your opinion, and your opinion doesn't matter. The fastest way to do that is not convince anybody, but go, okay,
Here's the fact.
I was just going to
They're the
say you can't do
facts.
opinion. It's
Right.
facts. And then that,
right.
in case you people don't know, don't ever argue with Kent about basketball
Right.
and sports because you just won't
That's
win.
easy for me because
You
I
just
don't do
won't win.
sports.
There's no
Right.
tie or no draw
I'm
there.
just saying,
I don't do sports ball.
I'm
What's
just saying,
sports ball?
I don't try to convince
Like
anybody.
Wayne.
What I do is I try to get I try to understand their
You
what
want them to
ring
help-
they're playing in.
You want to help them
Right?
understand.
What are the rules we're playing by here? And then, okay. And if I don't, you guys have all heard me say, you know what? I can't comment on that because I don't know.
And you'll
Let
go
me do some
research
work
it.
on it.
The best
and then we can
basketball
have that.
players, to be honest with you, I'm going to throw this out there because I'm huge on sports ball.
Yeah.
I know,
Sports ball.
I know that Michael Jordan's really good. I only know really 2 players. Michael Jordan, Spud Webb, because people are like, you can't play basketball because you're the same height as Spud
You
Webb.
proved the world wrong on that.
I
one.
know.
Spud, right?
And then
5'7".
I think that my favorite would be
7
the
feet taller than mine.
Globetrotters.
Oh, the Globetrotters.
Oh,
love
my
those
parents
guys.
took me to see those guys, man, when we were
Love
young. That was
They're fun.
That was inspirational.
It was entertaining.
But it was also
Yeah.
inspirational. Going, wow, these
Yeah,
guys. can
Don
do that.
says the same thing. This cyberbullying just hit delete. Shayna says, lead by example. I kid about the punches,
Throat punches.
yeah, but it keeps the
want
concept
some other
of
glasses?
shared space much clearer.
They don't
no,
work from me.
no risk for the godly behavior is a problem, or the goofy behavior. Sorry,
Right. I mean, I see Don says delete. I get it. It's easy, but it's still there. It's still out there. The delete thing, right? as far as the cyberbully, what we were going out. I think it's a little bit more in depth than just deleting. It's
Because then you can listen, you can avoid it, you can delete it, but it goes out to a platform. We're on a platform,
right.
So everybody gets to see it. So then when they get around you,
right,
that's where the bullying continues, because they already have that knowledge, what was ever put out or however was done, and so it's it's hitting you from two different ways.
Instead of delete though, don't you think maybe I'm just wondering. So in our age, we fought back, right? Cyberbullying. Do you fight back, or you just hit delete? Because to me, delete in a way, depending on what it's all about, is kind of cowering away, right? I'm not going to stand up for myself, right? And I don't know. There's a million different scenarios, but as a general rule, to me, delete is me coming to my mom saying, I don't want to do it. Well, if you don't, somebody's going to.
Don's in. And he's in. Everybody, Don.
Well, I figured we need somebody that can read the comments for you.
I'll start reading from now on. You ready?
Thanks, Don.
I appreciate it.
Makes me feel good on a Friday. So thanks.
Shayna's,
Talk about
I'm sorry,
cyberbullying.
Don just
cyberbullying. He gets removed.
Delete.
See you, Don.
Yeah. So what do we got? Shayna says, standing for conviction is always a choice. The price is different for everyone. Shayna says, true, Don, as far as the delete. I don't know if you heard that when you're getting on, but.
Yeah, I heard you. I mean, I know it's an oversimplification to just say delete, but the reality is, and this is where, again, you guys have heard me talk about how we make choices. You can choose to delete and ignore, or you can choose to not delete and be bothered, or you can delete and be bothered. We so often just give up our control rather than saying, no, I'm not going to let this moron who's putting something stupid on social media affect my life. Right. Take control, not let it do it. And if you're young, you need to have great parents who will help you with that. Right. But it bothers me when people act like, well, that's not going to work. You're still going to be bullied. No, that you still have a choice. You had a choice to fight that guy that you talked about, Scott. You made a choice. You stood up and you took care of it.
I didn't, because my mom was going to beat me up, and I figured I'd rather say I beat somebody up than my mom.
So you had somebody that helped you. You had a parent that helped you. Yeah.
Right, and that's exactly right. So that was the thing.
Somebody pushed you in the direction.
Right, I had the support system to say, hey, look, this is the way life is, right? So you either beat him up or I'm going to beat you up. And my mom, in a way, you could look at was another.
Could you take her? Could you have taken her, Scott? Could you have taken your mom?
No, dude. She grew up with 8 brothers and sisters on a farm, so no chance.
So what Don says, Kent, you were trying to convince him that Jordan was not the greatest.
I knew
not at all. All I want to know is what are we talking about, so I can give me the guidelines, give me the parameters on what we're talking about.
Right, there's got to be
so that we can have a good conversation.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But again, when you talk about the championships, that's just one criteria, and I'm sure you took the discussion further than that.
Oh yeah, I mean, so then I said, we could talk statistically, whatever. But at the same time, I go, now, if you want to change that from greatest of all time to most influential of all time,
that's probably
then
easier.
Yes.
Michael all day long,
because everybody is who's the next. He's the most influential.
Well, I'm going to go back to you here. I'm going to go back to you here.
$400 million a year from Nike. That just blows.
Shayna, which player makes the bank? That's a different criteria. It's not the greatest of all time. Might not make the most, right?
Right. I mean,
they could have been overlooked.
I think Steph Curry has the biggest contract right now. But we could take a look at a guy like LeBron James, who a lot of people hate. But LeBron married his high school sweetheart. He's never had he's never had any run-ins with the law. He has paid for 1,100 kids' college. 4 years, all paid.
That's just
he's
amazing.
Created schools. He's done so much outside of the realm
nobody really knows about.
That he you want to talk about influence off the court. This guy is a phenomenal human being with a great attitude. A lot of people, and he is the most hated superstar ever.
But he covers both. He gives inspiration and
inspiration.
And then
hey, look at that, Tony the Kid in here. We don't know what the topic is. We're talking about.
We're all over the map.
We're all over the place.
Yeah. It's a little everywhere.
Well, that's the grounds.
It's fun.
That's the grounds. We're talking about what's in our heads.
I love this right here. This is great. Go ahead, read that, Shayna's.
It's hard for me to give value to comments made by people I don't value.
But here's the problem. All right. Now, all of us, everybody who's listening, everybody in this studio, Don as well, who's virtual from Grapevine, Texas, is you get something across your social media where you go, fuck is this person?
Right.
And you go and you look, I'm their friend. I don't even know them.
Right. Right.
But we get so bent on like, oh, I've got I'm a friend with 10,000 people.
Well, on social media, how
yeah.
many times do you see somebody having a bad day? Everybody's life is awesome. That's all
well,
you see.
Well,
Right?
right.
They
I
only
mean,
take all the
social
good.
media generally is the highlight reel.
I look at my
Lives.
friends. Number one, I look at my friends from school from back in the day. I'm like, wow, he looks old. And then I look in the mirror. I'm like, damn, I'm looking old.
So do I.
Right,
Bald
right.
guys don't
Let's-
age.
Right.
yeah,
No,
bald
we don't.
guys
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
age.
I know. That's why I got to get rid of this.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's a
Well, I
lot
mean,
of
I
it.
feel 19 inside, but when I look in the mirror, I'm like, okay, I'm not 19 anymore.
Hey.
A few years added on.
I'm biting on my comments. I'm trying.
Dude, you
I'm
can
trying.
taste
I love you.
There's
Throw
some,
it out at it.
there's some euphemisms.
How
in
you
there.
feel and what you do.
You know, Shayna too. There's somebody once told me, and I was like, man, how do you not let them get in your head? Because they're just pushing with that I'm a big deal, and I was like, well, Drew, it's real easy. You know, it's not going to be a big battle because the person in front of you is stupider than you. They're just dumber than you.
They're just more.
They're
Stupid.
just trying to look like that part, and they're not.
Mhm.
So if you already are confident in who you are and what you do, you don't let it bother you. And I thought that was brilliant.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
so I've been
and-
trying to do that.
Yeah, in the famous words of Danny Partridge, he once said to Keith, "I don't want to get into a battle of wits with an unarmed man."
That's right.
And I thought that's
That's a
that's
good
an
one.
old.
Of course,
I love that
of course,
line
Danny
because
played the
it's
drums.
not worth it.
Oh,
Danny
I dated myself with that reference,
No,
didn't I?
Yeah, no, you know what?
That was a great. That
And
was a
here's
great
the cool
show.
thing about that show. Now everybody's buying old school buses. And they're turning them into,
It's
they are.
You're turning
And
into-
vinyl's coming back.
and vinyl is coming back. It's amazing.
crazy.
What's the next one?
Shayna says, "Have you heard the saying, torture numbers long enough, and they will tell you what you want to hear."
Yeah, I think Barack Obama is had that in a speech. Put enough out
Torture numbers long.
there. Who's Danny Partridge? Jim Santos. How are you, brother?
Hey, good morning, Tim. Who's Danny Partridge? Come on.
You got
Now
Facebook
I've got
user.
that. Now I've got that.
Yeah, that's
that-
Lisa.
That's Lisa.
Lisa's back as Facebook.
Hi, Lisa.
Now I've got the Partridge Family song in my head. That was a good show.
It was a
man.
good show.
It was, it was
Ruben Kincaid was there.
Ruben, yeah, was there.
I'm not looking to have that stuck in my head for the rest of the day.
That's
So
right.
don't
That's
do it.
fun.
That's right.
Don't do
because
it.
we're
I remember how
happy.
You're welcome.
the beginning was. It had the partridge and the little birds.
Little
flying.
bird.
right.
Yep.
What does Lisa say there, Scott?
People can mistake fame and popularity as success. Many of the greatest successes, in my opinion, are anonymous many times. Depends on what is good and success.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. What's your definition of success?
Mhm.
Right. It's different for everybody.
It is.
However, we were just talking about this the other night.
Yeah.
Is that we have all bought into the marketers' definition of success: bigger, better, stronger, faster, more. Right.
Right.
I mean, we're the only nation in the world, maybe Canada, but we're
Canada.
the only nation in the world that has these huge SUVs and trucks that we've got all these 4-wheel drive trucks. Go down to Texas that never leave the road. They never go off road.
But they say off-road on them.
But we need a 2-ton dually to zip around in.
Right.
I don't understand. And our interstates are so wide. You go over to Europe. I've never been.
8-lane wide.
It's like meow.
Yeah.
You'd love that then if you go like into the Caribbean and stuff. It's 3 cars wide on a 1.5
Caribbean
wide
or Caribbean?
Caribbean, whichever. You got 3 cars going down a car and a half wide road, and they
Yeah.
make it work.
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing in the world. They make do with what they have, right? I mean, and here everything is success for us. And when we came up with that comment of what is your greatest success, that one killed me for a while, right? Because my first comment or my first thought went to monetary, what I've achieved, what I've got,
What you own.
what I own. And it literally made me cry. I went home thinking about that. And I went to my neighbor and I asked him, what's your greatest success in life? My family. I said, get out.
The fuck out of here.
Because, that's the response everybody should have, no matter what,
Yeah.
right? But because we have been programmed.
As
in
long as
that
it's
way.
sincere too.
Right. Well, but it is. I mean,
It's a bumper sticker.
Right. Well, I mean,
It's a bumper.
it's a daily thing to continue to keep moving on, but that is your success. We're always in that chase, right? Or always bettering ourselves. And
Well,
helping
every-
better
I
ourselves.
mean, thank
every
God,
goal that
too,
you
for
have.
Deidre, because she really helped out your family. I mean, you chose.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, you married up.
I married up. If it wasn't for her, my kids
You found a
would
good
probably
pot
be
to
in
plant your
jail.
seed.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd probably be in jail if I didn't
Not-
find her.
That might be a bad picture of Deidre. I apologize.
You know where he lives,
They're
honey.
starving pygmies.
You know where he lives.
Well, and so, when you have all this material and then people are in America, only in America right now, people will say things like you're privileged.
Yeah.
You live here too. You're privileged. If you live in the US, you're privileged. If you don't think you are, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Live there for a while. Come back and come back and have a
ladies,
conversation.
Let's go take a vacation to the Middle East.
Right.
Yeah, let's go lay on the sand,
ladies. No, okay. Tim, buddy. Hey, first of all, great party. Tim's 13th annual. Memorial Day weekend blast was great, and happy birthday a little bit late. Good stuff. Fun, man. He had live music. Good
it looked
food,
like a good
great
time.
People were there. It was a good time.
Looked like a good time. We appreciate the invite to next year, hopefully.
Truly, yeah.
Yep. Oh, Shayna, here we go. She got a long one. I got my eyes on.
Yeah.
Says, I have accepted like 20 people as Facebook friends. If you are not secure in who you are and have an ego issue, I will be a nonstop trigger. Someone explain to this old lady what the hell the selfie is about. What do people do this? Why do people do this?
I love you for that. I always
that's how awesome
the selfie is about.
Right.
I always go back and go, and my grandmother, God rest her soul, my grandmother was the queen of taking, she always had the pictures, right? And she always had, and she was 4'11". So like a lot of the time your head was cut off or the time. But my grandmother would be sitting here scratching her head going, why do so many people take pictures in their bathroom? The only time my grandmother took a picture in her bathroom is when they've got new carpeted on the toilet.
Yeah. That was it, right?
I tell you,
I know. I hear
the toilet, the whole thing, the tank, the seat.
Oh, did they really?
It's the rug.
The whole thing.
Remember the rug that goes on the toilet seat?
I don't remember the whole toilet, but I got the toilet seat in the backing.
That's around the area where you were putting plastic on your couches and everything.
Or
don't sit on that. Why?
Or it was the grandkids in the tub. That was the only time you saw somebody's bathroom.
Guys, I heard the best line I've heard about selfies is he's a Chicago comedian, Sebastian Maniscalco. He goes, I don't call them selfies, I call them lonelies because you can't find someone to take your picture.
Right. Sebastian Maniscalco is hilarious.
Oh, he is hilarious,
and he lives in Des Plaines.
He grew up in Arlington Heights. Yeah,
you guys might be related.
I used to hang out with him.
Really?
Yeah,
seriously, that's cool.
See, I know it.
Not like we were best friends or anything, but there was a couple parties I was at. He was at. And he was just the quippiest dude off the cuff.
Yeah.
And so when I first saw that he was a comedian, I'm like, no way.
Makes sense.
This is awesome.
It makes sense.
I'm a huge fan. Yeah.
I mean, Ken could make it as a comedian.
Yeah, he was out of
very
Arlington Heights.
quick-witted.
Yep.
Oh, was Arlington? I thought it was Des Plaines.
I would have to get a lot of audience feed. I'm quick.
You can feed off of them.
Comments.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a lot of comments.
The delivery comment. That's tough.
Well, and I'm falling behind on clicking these comments.
That's
guys.
all right. We're clicking away.
Yeah,
we're clicking.
Lisa just says her greatest success in life has been surviving a life I never pictured.
That's life, baby. Roll with the punches.
Well, you know what? Maybe next week that's what we talk about. Happily ever after.
For profile pics and attention.
Yeah, that's it. Tim says for profile pics.
Well, real quick on the selfie thing. I don't do selfies, but I'm always left out of my family pictures because I'm the one taking them. So I'm always trying to squeeze everybody into my.
You got little stubby arms.
Selfie. Oh, I do.
Like
I'm like a tick on its back or a Tyrannosaurus.
Right.
Hey,
everybody, let's get a quick.
I'm taking a selfie. I'm taking.
Right.
I was like, that was my eyebrow.
Like I can't.
You should extend your arm. It was.
I can't reach the door handle half the time. I'm just kind of like this. Right. Fun.
Yeah.
Happily ever.
Selfies are not for everyone. Just FYI. Yeah. No, you shouldn't send it to everybody.
No.
Yeah, Jen. And good morning, Jen Krejci. Great.
Hey, Jen.
Yeah. Good morning.
Aren't you embarrassed? It's Sebastian's voice.
Aren't you embarrassed?
Right.
That was one of his specialist titles, I think.
His other great bit that it's gone viral too is hey, back in the day, when somebody rang the door, come on in.
Tuesday night.
You want some coffee cake?
We would slide in our socks up to the door.
Yep.
Get the Entenmann's cake out. Get the Entenmann's cake.
Shut off the light. Where's the sword? Where's the sword?
Where's that baseball bat?
Right.
Get out the Entenmann's cake. Yeah, get the Entenmann's cake out. We've been saving it for company.
Do we even have any real
The
doorbells anymore?
Sanka can on top of
The
the
Sanka.
fridge. That's exactly how
Oh,
I
it
grew
was.
Is that how
I
you
mean,
grew up?
Oh, yeah.
Was that the money? The can?
Oh yeah. No, that was actually Sanka.
It was actually
You weren't
Sanka.
allowed to eat the coffee cake, right? Right.
Yeah,
No, it's
filters,
100%
filters are
Only with company came. Only when company came could you eat the Entman's cake. Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah. Lonely's. Get a
Lonely's.
lonely stick. Ooh, that's in your store, I think.
Well, thanks for the plug.
Dude,
no
no
pun
way
intended.
did you just come up with that off the
See,
plate.
see, comedian right here.
Nice.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Lonely
Man
stick.
of many talents.
Lonely
not
stick
put a-
next to the
do
plugs.
Do not put a camera on the end of that lonely stick.
Right. No.
That would not be a
That's
selfie.
not a good selfie.
Some people pay extra.
Yeah,
for
there is no filter.
Yeah, they have sites for that.
You got a back room for that, I'm sure.
No, no.
No.
Oh my god.
Used to be a quarter to watch. Never mind. Don't know. It's just what I've heard. Yeah. And there.
Oh,
goes.
you're so good for my
There
psyche. You
goes
make
the
me laugh
show.
so hard every day.
But I mean, it is what it is.
I'm
That's
Um,
what they say.
right.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Can't
Oh,
change
here
it.
we go. Are we changing? Here we
He
go.
said, hey.
It's the name of the show. Here we go today.
There we go.
We always go.
It is
And that's
what it
good.
is.
And we
The
keep
lonely
moving.
strict requires.
Well, because realistically, it is what it is with
Context.
that. I mean, there's different reasons for people taking selfies.
The lonely stick contest.
The lonely stick. Who could
Hey,
judge that?
Yeah.
Requires context.
Well, this is right down the old toilet. Is what.
Yeah, I start the conversation with a family show, The Partridge Family, and this is where you guys take it.
Well, you know,
That's right.
that's
That's true.
that's that over there. I don't.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, I'm just trying to help out a buddy's business.
We're just trying to,
That's
you know,
all.
have a show.
Yeah, a little advertisement. That's all
Little
right.
Little
mar-
Hey,
marketing.
that lonely stick never talks back.
Because that's
Well, it can.
because that
They
Scott
have
Giles
them.
is kind of a big deal, Drew. That Scott Giles is
Oh,
kind of a
thank
big
you.
deal.
I'm just kidding. Hey, there's a new invention.
Hello in there. Hello in there.
How are
Hello
you
in there.
doing today? Faster, slower? Yes, no, maybe.
Hello in
I don't
there.
know.
Hello.
You got to let us know when you want us to reel you in.
That's right.
You're like, reel me in if I'm getting a little too.
every day.
Are we reeling you in?
Throw out the net.
Right.
Yeah. The net to catch me at
That's
216 the net.
That's right.
Listen, we've got great stuff on Fridays anyway. Bridging civil tension. We've got innovative strategies. We've got the neighborhood pulse. We've got in the know with Steph and Joe at 3, and then tonight a brand new Dream Home Experts, which would be good out of the Addison facility down there and studio. So you always want to be checking out, of course, our good friends over at Natural Therapy Wellness. You'll see them. If you need a massage this weekend, go get one, because if you're stressed, they can help you be blessed.
If you never had, if you never had a massage, that'll definitely help your stress.
And then, of course, it's $5 Friday at J&H. And so if you go there, you can order online, but if you go there, you know, and you don't have the $5 because maybe, you know, you're strapped, just say you heard it here on 21.6 the net, and Tom's
'em
Productions will pick up that $5 for you.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much just a little simple gesture like that can raise someone's day.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
there's
last week
nothing-
I got my wife some flowers and
Yeah.
just and a smile on her face. You know what I mean?
There's
That's
nothing.
awesome.
She still told me to sleep downstairs, but
Yeah,
I
well,
got a
there's-
good smile out of her
There's
face.
nothing greater.
1 point in, right?
Yep.
I mean, would you, just out of curiosity, would you say, here's a dead rabbit? I mean, we kill the flowers and go, here you go. Here's
Well,
some
she-
dead flowers.
If she
Enjoy.
likes Hassenpfeffer, I guess live or dead. What's the
I mean,
difference?
you know, bunnies are cute too. They look good, but you don't hand somebody a dead rabbit. Anyway, think about that.
Taking selfies and narcissism. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a good. That's a
Yeah,
good.
it's real good. There's a lot of
I
that.
think a lot of
What is
kids
so-
don't even know how to
Not
communicate
even the
these days without a
selfie.
selfie.
Let's talk about the ducky face, right? The ducky lip thing. Everybody's got to
Is that a thing now?
Oh, that's
It has
that's
been
the
for a while.
selfie
Oh,
thing,
is it?
right? So,
I don't really
Um,
pay attention to those trends.
we got Lisa. What does it say? Only at 216, you go from the Partridge Family to vibrators to the same combo,
It's the
Huh?
grounds. What do you want? It's two
Yeah.
guys. It's it's 3 guys today, but
and that's why you log in.
and this is what
Right.
and right because and this is women can really get an insight in the demand psyche by listening to our show. You can get a lot of other great information, but if there's one thing you'll understand,
Right.
we have no clue. Right?
No.
We just go.
We just shoot from the hip, man.
Right. We just
We're-
yeah.
It's
Oh,
fine.
Kent always says we're just idiots, right? Pick the
But
right
We just,
one.
why
we just
women are
confirm all of their worst thoughts.
I will never
about us,
disagree
yeah.
with that statement one bit. Women are
100%.
definitely smarter than men.
More
It's a
talented,
It's a different mentality, but they are definitely smarter. Their brains are wired differently.
Or just
And
turn it
that's-
on, turn it off.
Right.
They're
And
like
that's-
fine tuning knobs and
Yep.
shit like that.
Yep.
They have a nurturing side that we don't carry.
They can
Right.
have babies.
Well, yeah.
We can make them.
Well, I
I
don't
like
know.
being a
It's
maker.
2023. I think
Well,
we only have 800 genders. So, I mean, I think that
we're
that
up to
might-
800 now.
I think so.
Okay.
Including unicorn. I think you can be a unicorn now.
The unicorns now?
Yeah.
Ooh, I want to fly on that.
Okay. Where are we at?
Lisa says, do a show on how social media is training narcissists.
Mm.
Ooh, interesting. That would probably be more than one show.
What are your thoughts of that, Ken?
He's got to do some research. He'll get back to that.
No. No.
You know, it gets weird when he gets quiet.
No.
Right.
That's why I said he's got to do some
I'm,
research.
I'm waiting for that gear
Yeah.
to kick in.
So my question, my answer to that would be, so the people in the mirror industry,
Mhm.
the people in the mirror industry have been training narcissists as well
True.
for all these years.
Well, I mean, that's
So-
kind of in the same platform,
I'm
except
just
the only
saying.
one really seeing it is you, right?
Yep.
In the mirror.
Well, I think looking in the mirror is different because the
Somebody
the
should
selfie. The selfie you're sending out to other people to see. When you're looking at yourself in the mirror, it no pun intended,
Oh,
but
okay,
it's
so-
reflection time, right? Your face is reflecting, so you.
the
can,
Hollywood glam shots of the '80s were training narcissists too.
No, I don't think that looking in the
Right.
mirror is a narcissist.
Yearbook people training narcissists.
I think when you're looking
too.
in the mirror, it's a reflection, literally reflecting on yourself,
Right.
looking at yourself, trying to see your inside. Right? I don't see it.
Well,
As
well,
trying
Shane,
to evaluate yourself and appreciate yourself, because a lot of people really don't spend much time actually staring at themselves in the mirror, because
I would call
will
that
help-
the mental mirror. The mental mirror.
what
Reflect on yourself,
right. Well,
right?
it makes you look at things differently, right?
Yeah.
Because now you're actually you got to hold yourself accountable. When you're looking at yourself in the mirror, you can't,
Yeah.
uh,
The
how
narcissist,
confident are
the narcissist would say, "I don't need any help, any training being a narcissist because I'm already good at it because I'm a narcissist."
Right. And most
That's a
narcissists
good
don't think
point.
they are narcissists.
Yeah,
They
so
just-
there would be no
they have
training
no clue.
involved.
How confident are you that you would recognize mental illness in action?
I'm watching it today.
No further questions,
Don,
Your Honor.
you get 2 points. 2
Defense
points for Don.
rests.
I want to hang out with Don a great
Defense rests.
Yeah,
Defense rests.
that's excellent. That's
Mike,
excellent.
if I had a mic, I'd drop it. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, the ducky face makes no sense.
Yeah,
Tom.
that's a really
I get
good
it.
question, though, Shayna.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you go back up to that one?
Yeah.
How? Well, just how confident are you
backwards,
that
okay.
you would recognize mental illness in action?
I don't think it's very easy. How often have you seen somebody go crazy and all of the neighbors go, "He was the nicest guy. I never saw it coming."
Right. That's
Mm.
the thing.
the-
Don, you're 100% on
The,
that.
the question is, why as a society are we trying to say you can do wrong as long as you're tagged with a mental illness?
Yeah, that's-
You know
That's
what?
just an.
I'm sorry that you ran over that crowd of people. You have a mental illness. No shit, they're not thinking right.
Well, that's
Yeah.
somebody always has to have some type of
Right?
excuse
No, I'm
or
just
reason
saying.
why it happened. Right?
I'm just saying.
Things
The
happen for a reason.
pussification of America has come down to, hey, it's okay that they did that because we have this doctor over here
That
who
says
says that
he's
it
not
was one
right.
of their 28 personalities. We all have 28 personalities. Some of us listen to those voices, some of us don't. Right?
And the challenge is to figure out how
I'm
to
just-
how to
I'm-
turn them
listen,
off.
Well,
and
this
I'm not trying to belittle.
Right. No.
I am
Right.
not trying to belittle anything. It's serious stuff. I've got a daughter who's a clinical psychologist. It's serious stuff,
Same
right?
here.
But what I'm saying is we've chosen to accept that for defining or graying the lines of right and wrong.
Amen.
Yep.
I agree with you, Deacon. Again, yeah, it's like, okay, if it's because of a mental illness, then you need to be secured somewhere to protect others and yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a get out of jail free card. It should
Correct.
be, we really need to protect you, the person, and those around you. Because,
Correct. I think
yeah,
doing that
I don't
is-
think if somebody killed your child because they had a mental illness, I don't think you just, they got a mental illness. That's not their
people
fault. Let it go.
people are just trying to justify.
Yeah.
why it happened,
No,
right?
that's what I'm saying. So it's out there, and everybody deals with it. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Every
we
day,
all
no
have
matter who you
anxiety.
are.
We all feel depression. We all feel joy. But
Mhm.
the mental piece of it, it's out there, right?
Right.
Well, this is interesting right here. Is social media as the external search for approval.
Always.
Yeah. And then
that's why people scroll so much.
Yeah.
correct.
Right? They're looking for those positives.
You fall in that rabbit hole, right? Your
Yeah.
brain gets into it. You fall in that rabbit hole, and next thing you know, you start acting the same. If you fall in the algorithms for these platforms,
Right.
watch what you watch, and like feed them more of that.
Right.
That's horrifying.
I mean, and that is such a true statement because for me, I got a pretty good life. I can't really complain, even though I will from time to time, but I've got it pretty darn good. But from my standpoint, if I'm in a good mood and whatever, and all of a sudden I start scrolling on Facebook, and it actually makes me switch gears to the point like, well, why can't I do that? What is it? FOMO, the fear of missing out, or you know what I mean? That life looks so much better than mine. It's like, and then I shut it off and go, okay, like Kent was just talking about, controlling my brain. Hold on.
Right.
That's not real. That's not real. These are just people's, best moments they're putting out there. Why
is that on Netflix,
yourself?
Mr. Robot? Is that on Netflix?
I think so. Is that on Netflix, Shanna?
Yeah. I don't know.
I started watching it. It's a pretty good show.
Lisa. Oh
Lisa,
gosh.
oh my God, don't get me started.
Yeah, no, I mean that's it. Now listen, again, this show is three guys, our opinions. I mean, we're not doctors. We're not doctors of psychology, psychiatry, none of that.
We're normal humans.
We're
typical humans.
Right. What I'm saying
Trying
is
to make a difference.
my thought is I think we as a society here in America, I've never been outside of America, so I got to say we as a society here in America. We've accepted that. Now, the other thing is we don't just accept it, we invite it in. Right. There's an orange man running around that so many people are in love with still. Takes up a lot of mental space in people's heads on both sides of the aisle. And I'm like, why does this guy take up so much rent?
Right.
The people who absolutely love him never watched his show because he's an idiot. You're fired. Right. That guy's an idiot. Hey, he's the best thing in the world. Yay. People are just
peanut butter.
I was just got you beat me to it.
What?
And he's coming from Texas, so peanut butter.
Yeah. Right.
Is this how you say it in Texas?
That's
America. America.
Yeah.
America.
Narcissists believe they are unique or special and can only be understood by other special people.
Interesting.
I don't know. I mean,
what do you mean by as far as special people?
Quote unquote.
Yeah, quote unquote.
Well, if you understand that, you're a narcissist.
Yeah, right. I guess I'm not.
Well, I think what he's saying is, if you're a narcissist, you think you're above the rest. You're a little bit more special than anybody else. And
if you don't get me, don't get me, you're an idiot. Yeah,
I'm kind of a big deal, right?
Kind of a big deal.
Back to that kind of a big deal.
Every time you say that, you're just like.
Well, I mean, I'm dealing with that right now.
That's Drew's trigger.
Yeah.
Well, we got a couple more. We got 2 more minutes. We got
two more. Holy cow!
That's it.
Right.
You know, when it's a good show, it goes by fast.
I know.
Yeah.
Shayna says it's not an excuse, but more of a skill I would like to have. If I can diffuse a situation, or if I'm in danger and need to leave, is a practical issue.
She's talking about not narcissism maybe, but also just if somebody is a schizophrenic or something like that. Here's what I would say to that. I think in your world, it's called intuition. People call it. You get a feeling like, man, something's off, right? So the day that I was in a bank robbery and had a gun pointed to my head, that whole morning on the way to work, there was something off in the energy that I was just like, man, something's off. Maybe it's something I ate. I don't know. Something just feels weird today. And well, that was it. Right. So there was a weird balance. So I think we innately know, but then we talk ourselves out of it, going, no, it's something I ate, or no, it's something I must have slept wrong, didn't get enough sleep. Whatever it is, we start justifying or trying to make sense of what it is. But that energy and the vibrations in your world, your circle, start going, there's something here that's not right. And I think we all innately have that. And you
can tell the energy in the room is off.
And instead of truly listening to that gut feeling or that energy vibration, we try to accept it and go, the people who grew up next to, had a house next to Dahmer. I always thought there was something weird about that guy. Yeah, you did.
Right.
You had a good intuition.
Right.
Like that smell,
There was
maybe?
weird vibration in your world. So I think it is. It's just how do we not try to talk ourselves into going, I don't know, Drew's a real good guy. maybe he goes to church on Sunday, right?
Possibly.
That makes him a great dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
Forget once a week and 1 hour.
Yeah.
Makes him a
not
better
the same
person.
kind of church.
Yeah, green
Yeah,
beans.
right.
I don't like green beans. Absolutely. Little gag is bad, which is bad, right? So I think when the boat's rocking, you feel it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Which is great. Now listen, I myself love narcissists. I get a kick out of them.
Entertainment, edutainment.
Yeah, I get a great kick out of them, and it makes me go, I'm not that bad. That's pretty good.
Right. Right.
Hey, this is good. This guy's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I'm not so cuckoo.
I had a guy once tell me, he's like, I was once told that I had the it factor.
The it factor.
And my response was, you forget the SH in front of that?
Yeah, it's
Right?
a silent SH.
It's a silent. Yeah, it's silent.
Right.
People, I couldn't help but laugh if somebody
Yeah.
said that to me.
Right.
For me, it would be really hard to hold back from
Well,
not just
and it
laughing my
was.
ass off and be like, dude, really?
Yeah.
Like, where are you coming from? Who are you related to that you had the it factor?
So
Is that a new show?
life is, and here's your, and we'll just leave it at this. Life is a cookie jar, right? What you put into the cookie jar is what you get out of the cookie jar. You can't put Oreo cookies into the cookie jar and think you're going to pull out a chocolate chip. You can't put nothing into the cookie jar and think you're going to pull something out of the cookie jar,
I like that.
right? So it depends what in your world. It depends what you put into your cookie jar, right? So if I'm putting in a lot of love, trust, personal relationships, things like that, good energy, that's what I'm going to be able to pull out of it, right? And so karma is you reach into the cookie jar and you get exactly out what you put in,
It's
thinking
true.
you didn't put something in, right?
Well, that's why I go to Scott's store and I fill my cookie jar with all the good stuff.
Yeah,
Because you're going to get something out, huh?
When you get it out,
When it starts
it's
to
always
wiggle,
good.
when it starts wiggling. When it starts wiggling or vibrating, that's the one I'm pulling out.
That's the wrong store.
Never mind.
Yeah,
That's the
wrong
wrong
That
store.
sounded bad.
That's on the other side.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
on the other side of this.
That's right.
You need to relax first.
Yeah.
Right.
So I believe in, and if you understand the circle of your world and that you allow people into your world, you all allow us into your world every Friday morning. We really appreciate that.
We
I
love you for that.
Keith, how are you, man? Check him out tonight. Keith going to be sitting. He is a host of the Dream Home Experts. New episode tonight. Good
What's
stuff
up, Keith?
From
What's
the
up, man?
Addison Studio. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah, they are.
And if you ever need a mean smash burger,
He's a great
God,
cook.
he
Yeah,
is-
come on up to Man Camp.
Follow Smoking Griddle Boys.
He's got it down for the smash burger. I don't
Yeah,
believe it.
my
Prove it.
God. Follow
Nope,
Smoking
You got
Griddle
no
Boys
problem
out there.
proving that, man.
Yeah,
Prove it.
Smoking Griddle Boys on social media. I'm telling you,
Yeah, huh?
they do some great things.
That's
Bring it
awesome,
out.
man. I'm excited.
Nice.
But listen, we got to bounce. Don, thanks so much for
Don,
peeling
you're
away
awesome,
some-
Good to
man.
join you guys. Good to join you guys.
Always fun with you, bud.
You look great. Give your wife a hug and enjoy the weekend down there.
Don's kind of a big deal.
He is a big deal.
Not kind of. He is.
I'll say it for him.
Yeah, he's in Texas because everything's
Yeah.
bigger in Texas.
Everything is bigger.
Well,
in Texas.
and Deke is right about the pickups.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hey, next week, happily ever after.
Happily ever after.
That'll be the topic.
All right.
Happily ever after.
Hmm.
Come back next week when we live. Happily ever after.
Well, we appreciate each and every one of you tuning in today. Go out there and be the change you want to see in the world. We love the fact that you let us come into your world every Friday and give you that daily dose of encouragement to go out there and know that we're behind you 100% and that everybody has struggles every day. We'll help you if we can.
Sunday at 7.
Or screw you up
Wait,
too. We don't know.
Wait, you're going to be on Sunday at 7 p.m.? Is that right? I thought we had a show from 7 to 8. I thought you guys were on at 9.
This
The
is a
the
management thing.
rundown? Or is that when you're doing the TDK? I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Maybe you should ask an owner of the station.
Tune in.
Scheduling difficulties.
Tune in
Tune in
Sunday.
You
later.
would think we would know something.
Tune in Sunday at 7.
Thanks again,
What's
guys.
up?
We love you all. Have a great weekend.
All
Stay,
Enjoy.
Stay
Oh,
cool.
and NBA game 2. Yeah. Well, there's not much there.
Till next Friday, guys.
Go Nuggets.
Be safe. Have fun.